5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Soon after my parents' divorce, I developed a stutter. Fate is a cruel and efficient tutor. There is no escape in stutter. You feel the meaning of every word drag itself up your throat. Separation. Stutter is a cage made of mirrors. Every, are you okay? Every, what do you say? Every, come on kids, spit it out, is a glaring reflection you cannot escape. Every terrible moment skips upon its own announcement over and over until it just hangs there, floating in the middle of the room. Mom, Dad, I'm not wasteful with my words anymore. Even now, after hundreds of hours practicing away my stutter, I still feel the claw of meaning in the bottom of my throat. I've heard that even in space, you can hear the scratching of an I love you.
I have been looking for him for 9 years. 5. Our bodies are nothing more than host to a collection of brilliant things. When someone dies, I do not weep over their Polaroids or belongings. I begin to look for the life that has left them. I feel out the strongest breeze and take off running. 6. After 9 years, I found Steven. I passed a basketball court in Boston. The point guard dribbled like he had a stadium roaring through his palms. Will Chamberlain pumping through his feet and his hands, flashing like X-rays. A crossover rapper, rewinding turntables, cracking open. Cameramen turning flashbulbs to fireworks. 7 games, he never missed a shot. His hands were luminous, pulsing. When I asked him how long he'd been playing, he said 9 years. 7. The theory of 6 degrees of separation was never meant to see how many people we could find. It was a set of directions for how to find the people we have lost. I found your voice, Stephen. Found it in a young boy in Michigan who was always singing, his lungs flapping like sails. I found your smile in Australia, a young girl's teeth shining like the opera house in your neck. I found your one true love come to life on the asphalt of Boston 8. We are not created or destroyed. We are constantly transferred, shifted, and renewed. Everything we are is given to us. Death does not come when a body is too exhausted to live. Death comes because the brilliance inside of us can only be contained for so long. We do not die. We pass on the life burning through our throats. When you leave me, I will not cry for you. I will run into the strongest wind I can find and welcome you home.
Shells of bullets you hope miss, because we got white flags from the tips of our toes to our tear ducts, and we can wear our halos as handcuffs, because I don't want to be a witness to this life. I want to be charged and convicted, ear lifted to her song like a bouquet of yes, because my heart is a parachute that is never opened in time, and I want to fuck up that pattern. Leave a hole where the cold is and fill it every day with her sun, because anyone who has ever sat in Lotus for more than a few seconds knows it takes a hell of a lot more muscle to stay than to go, and I want to grow strong as the last patch of sage on a hillside stretching towards the lightning. God has always been an arsonist. Heaven has always been on fire. She is a butterfly knife bursting from the cocoon in my belly. Love is a half moon hanging above Baghdad, promising to one day grow full, to pull the tides for desert wounds and fill every clip of empty shells with the ocean already. There is salt on my lips, lover. This is not just another love poem. This is my goddamn revolution. I am done holding my tongue like a Bible. There is too much war in every verse of our silence. We have all dug too many trenches away from ourselves. This time, I want to melt like a snowman in Georgia. To my smile is a pile of rocks you can pick up and skip across the lake of your doubts. Trust me, I've been practicing my ripple. I've been breaking into mannequin factories and pouring my pink heart into their white paint. I've been painting the night sky up on the inside of door frames so only moonshine will fall on your head in the earthquake. I've been collecting your whispers and your whiplash.
The rigging alone. My brother pushed off from shore before the tide had ever turned his way, always 2 steps ahead. For years, I didn't want him going under. tried to anchor him against the storms, threw him safety nets and buoys, trained myself in CPR. I have known so many men whose hulls have been made hollow by the salt of this sea, whose sails are pulled so tightly into the wind, whose rudders no longer point to anything but drowning. How do you keep a boy floating? How do you keep him above the ache? Men will drift eternal. Men will say it's just a scratch when the cannons have shot them full of holes. They will look at their driftwood tied with string and say ship. They will look at the broken wheel between their hands and say captain. They will look to the ones who have jumped overboard without them and say crew. Today, my brother is 20 years handsome. He is smirk and motor, femur strong and decision heavy. His decks have been worn down by the feet of others, but his compass always points north. I can hear the cabins creak, the chains rattle, the ladders sag. It has been a decade since I heard him sing. We are in Ireland, a country we have never been to. I have rented us a car I cannot drive and have been maneuvering us gracelessly through the green, green countryside toward the cliffs of the western coast. The rain is a diligent mother who checks up on us every few hours. The sky is endless gray. My brother's quiet fills the car like a family holiday.
Broken bones does it take to know that you are crippled, riddled with solutions that range from 3-state tragedy to 1-state massacre? What kind of caliber do you need to gun down potentially terrorist children? How long can you sleep under a blanket of oppression? Is my bed any longer? If there's a little on this side and a little on that, how can I spread myself to sleep peacefully until I cut myself into pieces? You want a single kebab, the media gives you a platter, marinated with statistics but garnished without feeling. What do you tell a child on a hospital bed who stares all day long at the ceiling, wondering when it's going to fall again? What can he bounce off an apartheid wall that's seen more hatred than all the grains of sand around it? When you're surrounded by screaming voices long enough, you get schizophrenic to their meaning. What do you tell a 5-year-old who paints clouds dripping blood from the sky? Do you tell him why stripping humanity of its flesh is wrong? Is art his swan song, escaping to a place where he can wake up to the sound of silence? Violence isn't a language that kids understand. They don't want a homeland. All they want is an unbroken home. In another part of the world, there's a sun that is rising, but her sun is dying. There's a hole in his classroom blackboard. It teaches him math the way no teacher ever could. He can now subtract empty chairs from souls he used to know. Can they grow into a flower that doesn't have thorns while a world around them scorns and awaits another UN resolution? When the occupation of a nation is occupation, all you get is a pentagon reflecting the same solution over and over again. They may have iron domes, but the children have iron wills. They kick footballs with smiles on their face, with wonder in their feet, raise fists to the beat-up walls they must now break down. I dare anyone to set a frown upon their face as they draw the contours of a free nation to the gyration of crayon kites taking on the might of an F-16 face to face. I dare anyone who's seen them forced to crawl and limp out of the F-16's debris and seen the children's bloodied face to explain to them the meaning of a race.